back. I believe this is episode 3 of the O'Connor remodel series. We're back at my place in Torrance. Hope to show you a lot of progress this time around. We got held up in the city for a little bit. We got our permits now. And if you remember, this was a single family, but it was being used as a duplex. And so part of the process, what we're doing is we are legally splitting the units into a front house and then a legal ADU, accessory dwelling unit, that'll be permitted through the city of Torrance. And we're wrapping up that process. But we got the permit to do the remodel, especially on the front house. And we have started all the rough systems. So rough plumbing, rough electrical, rough heating. It can be a little overwhelming, especially at this part of the process. The walls are open, the framing's done. All you see are holes and wires and pipes and holes in the floor. And just knowing, I know that it's all gonna be put back together and it's gonna look beautiful, but this is kind of the hairy part of the process. So I wanna take you in, I wanna show you what we did. We have the new floor plan now. It's all opened up, it's really great. I'm really pleased with the few changes we did. And then you'll see some of the systems that are in, and then I'll point out what's coming next, hopefully in the following episode. Let's go inside. Watch your step. I want to point out one thing here. So we came to the back of the property. We're about 2/3 of the way back. And as you can see here, this is the garage, and then this is the back unit. This was the 4th bedroom and a small living room that they added on. And again, this was all permitted, but it was permitted as part of the main house. And so this is physically the back of the main house, the back door here, and then this was an addition at some point in time. And what we're doing is we're saying that this is now a 3-bed, 2-bath house here in the front, and then this is gonna be a 1-bed, 1-bath apartment. And then we have a 1-car garage and we have a 1-car parking space for the property. And so now I'll legally be able to have 2 separate tenants and actually, hopefully, get a little bit more money combined than I would if I rented it out as one whole house. All right, so we're in the back unit. We're in the living and kitchen area. This is gonna be a small 1-bedroom, so it's a very small kind of bachelor style kitchen, mini stove, sink, and fridge. And then this is like your great room. We've converted this area to entry mudroom area. So that's gonna be your front door. And you'll walk down this separate entrance. And then where I was before in the little courtyard, we're gonna fence that off and create a little private patio for this unit. So you'll have your own separate entrance, and then you'll have a back patio as well. You'll have a living room here and kitchenette, and then down this way, you can see the cabinets are in for the closets. LIJ Spaces is what she's going by now. This is Jen Roban's company. We have the closet built in. We tore out the old 1950s closet. We have 3 compartments, floor to ceiling. We have built-in drawers, and then as you come this way, you'll see more storage and actually pantry space. And then the full bath you'll see is completely demoed, but the electrical's in and waiting on new windows. When you're demoing and starting to frame, that's usually where you make any kind of last minute changes. We vacillated a lot about which was gonna be the front door, getting their entryway coming down the side. That's all been decided and we're moving forward. So one thing to point out, again, this is a 1-bedroom apartment, different type of tenant. There won't be any air conditioning here, but we do have a brand new wall heater. All right, so now we're in the front house. And as you can probably see behind me, the framing has transformed this space. We'll show you kind of a before picture, because there used to be a wall right around here. And then there used to be a wall here like this. So you could not see into the kitchen before. And then this actually was the old original house. And so we had to rip this whole wall off for a lot of the framing, but we also had to feather it out. The framing, the lumber, because of the age of the home, was so much smaller. These 2x4s are like 1.5 inch. So we had to put this facing on all of the studs on this side of the wall to make it match. Second addition back here, which was using the bigger studs. So you can see it transitions right here from the smaller studs. The original house probably ended right about here, and then they did an addition at some point along the line. But we took out the wall here that had a cove, and this used to be the dining room. So now we're going for the open kitchen, dining area, and living room, kind of trying to create that great room feel. All right, so let's talk kitchen layout. We have demoed the property, as you know, and we now have a blank canvas of what we want to do. We are in particularly not changing the original layout per se, like overwhelmingly, but we are definitely updating. So we have all new cabinets, all new flooring, all new appliances, new electrical, and new plumbing. So this is going to feel like it is basically going to be a brand new kitchen. The question is, when we get to this point, do we want to change anything? And we really liked the original layout to the most part. However, I will tell you that because of the remodeling we did over here, this wasn't a complete wall before. You used to walk down this way to get to the back half of the house. So now we've created a real U-shape kitchen and are using that to our advantage because we have so much wall here. We will now have more cabinets, fridge and freezer, pantry area, and then you come to the back wall where we'll have sink and dishwasher. We're gonna have a window over the sink that was existing, just getting replaced. Upper cabinets here, and then we'll come around the corner, more counter space, a couple of upper units, and your oven, cooktop, and hood. And so you'll have the full-fledged kitchen. You have a lot of space here. It'll be great for cooking. It'll be great for a family, and it'll be super functional. And we didn't overcomplicate it. You know, we have the cooking area, we have a lot of counter space, the cleaning area, and the fridge and food and snack area that will all be open to the dining and living room so that you can easily communicate in a small house like this. That's a really nice feature instead of being compartmentalized like it was before. Obviously, this is a huge upgrade. So when we talk about upgrades in a house, bang for your buck, this is obviously a lot of bang, but it costs a lot of bucks. So it's something that I truly believe adds a great amount of value to your property, but it obviously is a sizable investment. We talked about the heating and air conditioning being like $10,000 to $15,000, a brand new kitchen, even in a smaller house, even using more economical items and economical appliances is still gonna be $25,000 to $50,000 depending on what you choose. You say, well, how could it be such a range? What materials are you using? What appliances are you getting? You could spend $1,200 on a really nice oven cooktop. You could also spend $10,000. So that's a very expensive decision right there alone. Same with the fridge. It's probably gonna cost you $1,500 for a nice lower end fridge. You could spend $12,000 on a Sub-Zero or more. I mean, you could spend $500,000 on appliances if you really wanted to, but we're not doing that here. So when you get a range, that's the kind of decisions. What kind of cabinets? Are they painted? Are they stained? Where do they come from? Are they coming from China? Are they coming from Lowe's? Are they coming from a custom cabinet maker? All of that kind of stuff. What kind of trim do they have? All those things add up. And so it's having a budget you want to stick to and then making decisions accordingly. Now, whatever you decide, I'm sure anything's better than the original 1930s kitchen. So I always encourage people, if they want to really add value to their home, consider doing the kitchen. But you know, most people, it's probably something you got to save up for. but I promise it'll pay off. So I want to point out one of the larger, more consequential decisions when you talk about remodeling, talk about opening things up, right? Removing walls. Are they bearing? Are they not? A lot of times they're bearing or partially bearing, and you gotta add a beam. So you'll walk through the house you're looking to remodel and the contractor says, oh, you add a beam. And not that they're downplaying it, but what they also don't realize, or what you may not realize, is yeah, it's the beam. You're gonna see it up here. This thing spans from the back of this unit all the way here. It's like 20 feet long. It's two beams, but it butts together, 20-foot span, and basically allowed us to open this up. But what I wanted to point out is the thing that holds the beams are these posts. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, no big deal. It's a post, right? It's obviously larger than your normal 2x4. Well, I'm standing on a hole in the floor, but I'm gonna point you out to this hole over here where the other post is. And basically what you don't realize is that, especially with existing homes and floors, and thankfully this one has raised foundation, is we had to cut a hole in the floor and pour a pad. So there is a like 3 foot by 3 foot pad of concrete that's probably 3 to 4 feet deep that is now the base for this post. So it's not just the lumber and the brackets, it's also the footings. And I have a footing here, I have a footing there, and then we have another post back there at the end of the 20-foot span. This is the world we live in with engineering, and in California for things like earthquakes and structural. I mean, there's no second story on this building. There's just the roof truss and all of that. But this is what they felt is necessary in order to have an opening like this. So there's gonna be laundry and pantry, and then there's gonna be a door actually to the outside. So this is your new back door, because we deleted the old back door. And then we created this awesome master suite. I want to show you in here. The room itself didn't change much. We're adding a window. All the windows in the whole property are going to get replaced. But what we did do is we added this awesome walk-in closet that'll all be outfitted with built-ins and such. And then we reconfigured the new bathroom for a full master suite. As you can see in the back there, that's gonna be a huge shower. And then we're gonna have a double vanity on this side over here. And then through that doorway, it'll be walled off from the other unit. We'll have a private commode room. This is now a legit master suite. And then we have the 2 bedrooms that have a Jack and Jill bath up front, which create the 3-bed, 2-bath unit here, and then we have the 1-bed, 1-bath unit behind us.